Hello, welcome to a bright sunny afternoon. It's a great afternoon for getting your yards mowed, but I come to look at my mower and I see that I have the threshing blade on. Threshing blade, you use that to get all the moss out of the ground, and once the threshing blade has done its job, you get all the moss and you shift it out of the way and your grass can grow. So this blade needs changing. So let me explain a few things to you. First of all, I'm using a ratchet. The ratchet has a little switch here, allows it to swing one way, but it won't allow you to go back, depending on how you set the switch. Swings freely that way, or the other. There is a middle setting. If you get it right. Hardly used though. Mostly you want it left or you want it right. And there's a little rule I've mentioned before: Righty, Tighty, Lefty, Loosy. So now I want to loosen this. So I want to put the force to the left. Right now the force is going to the right. So I change the setting. Now when I pull it, it pushes to the left, but I can adjust it and move it to any position I like going to the right. So that goes on the nut. Just one nut. That nut, the force clenching the washers to the axle, because it spins so fast, it has to be greater than the forces trying to throw it off. So in other words, I have it pretty tight. Now tightness is described as torque. How tight is something? Not to be confused with torque, T-L-A-L-K, talking, chatting. It's not that torque. Torque with a Q-U-E means how tight, how pinched you've got something. And it is measurable. It's measurable using this formula: feet times weight. Now we're using customer units, so the weights are going to be in pounds. So I'm going to find out what the torque is for this nut to make it come off. I have a bar in feet, so when I put this bar onto the ratchet, the weight of the bar itself will not go. Now I have something else in here, which is a stopper. So when I push down, you can see that this stopper stops the axle from spinning. So it's now locked. So I'm going to put on a number of weights to try and find out just when I can exceed the torque of the nuts holding in place. This is a 2.5 pound weight. Might be a little bit small. This here, twice as heavy. Metal. Inside here is concrete. It's encased in a plastic shell. They are prone for breaking. So it's like a mould. That's the cap. That's the cap for the mould where it got poured in. So these are the cheaper form of the weights, short lifetime. These weights last forever until they rust and crumble away. 200-300 years, something like that. So I've got 5 pound, 5 pound, 10 pound, 10 pound. So I've got a lot of weights. I'm going to slide them on. I've got a bit of a problem. I'm trying to find out what it is in feet but I have a wheel in the way. So I'm going to hold them at the 2 foot area and see if I can't get something out of it, something to happen. So that's my first one, £5. Nothing happened. £10. Taking the tension. I can slide another one on, or I can move it out. So right now it's 2 times 10. So I'm at a torque of 20 pounds. 3 times 10. I'm at a torque of 30 pounds. 4 times 10. I'm at a torque of 40 pounds. So I'm just going to slide that down there. I'm going to put a £5 weight on. So now I'm going to be counting in 15s. 1 times 15 is 15. 2 times 15, 30. We agreed that wasn't going to go. 45. 3 times 15, 45. Add another 15 to that. 60. If I can feel something happening. 60 pounds of torque. So if I think about my body weight, I'm 180 pounds, so 3 times my body weight. I'm 3 times heavier than that. So a third of my body weight was enough to loosen the torque, to beat the torque of this. So I'll take the weights off the end. And now I should be able to keep moving. You can see it spins. So if I go like this, it just comes right off. And that's all we have. That's all we have. Nut spreads the force out. The bolt goes in, series of washers, and that holds it in place. And this is a threshing blade. These fingers or rakes, they scratch to the grass. Nice to do it when it's nice and dry. It brings out all the lichen and all the other stuff that grows through winter. And now we're ready to put a different blade on. I'm going to stop talking because I've unleashed the torque. I have, here's where's the pen. Going to rub this off, write down the result. So the result was £15, and we times it by 4 feet, which gave us 60. And 60 that's not working. 60 was greater than the nut. So we beat the nut with 60 pounds of pressure, 60 pounds of torque. So when I put this back on, I'm going to try and torque it up. I'll do the reverse process and apply 60 pounds to get it nice and tight. Hold that straight. Thank you very much.